PFF is running one of their biggest sales ever. 40% off a PFF Plus subscription right now using the promo code BLACKFRIDAY. That means that you get everything fully unlocked. You get the grades, you get the stats, you get all the fantasy advice, the betting advice, which our new player prop tool is available on web as well to make you a smarter, better. You've got all of the draft analysis, the free agency analysis, all of that great stuff. Subscribe.pff.com to get 40% off a year-long PFF Plus subscription. Get it now. The Giants and the Lions doing battle this Sunday. Looks like Jackson Dart could be back for the New York Giants, but let's talk about the Lions side of things first. This is an opportunity where I feel like they're going to be able to run the ball. I don't want to say at will, but it's just surprising how bad the Giants have been at run defense, and the Lions are going to want to get right back to it after that loss this past weekend.
Yeah, I think Lions games have gotten actually, for as much as they have in their offense and Dan Campbell calling the plays and everything we know about how fun their offense is to watch, especially at home, it's very simple. If you think they can run the ball, you think they're going to win, and if you don't, then they're not going to win. That's kind of how that works. In their 6 wins, Trevor, they have a 78.7 rushing grade, they have an 81.7 run blocking grade, and they run for about 170 yards a game. In their 4 losses, 58.6 rushing grade, 60 run blocking grade. They run for about 70 yards. The Giants are bottom 3 in just about every run defense category we have, whether it's grading or before contact, after contact, explosives, whatever you want. They're bottom 3 in everything. Should they be, especially with their defensive line? Probably not, but it's been a huge problem this year. I think this game is very simple. The Lions have to feel like they can get in here and run the ball, even with Christian Mahogany out of the lineup, right, and the way they struggled against the Eagles last week. But the Eagles' defensive line has gotten it together. The Giants' front 7 so far has not. If the Lions can run the ball at will, then this isn't going to be much of a game.
Yeah, so Winston started for them last week, and I made the argument that Winston should have been starting for them because he at least gives them a chance to win, where I didn't really feel like Russell Wilson, the ceiling for when Russell Wilson was out there was so low. The floor was a little bit higher than what it was for Winston, and we saw last week, Jameis Winston 3 turnover-worthy plays, and you go back and you watch those plays, and it's like, okay, well, to me, a lot of those read like he had not played in a while. And obviously that was the case for him. There was one deep pass that should have never been attempted. There was one, I'm not sure if it was trap coverage or maybe it was just cover 2 and he didn't see the outside corner sitting down on that zone, but whatever it was. I mean, he was not seeing the field the way that a starting quarterback typically does when they're getting reps consistently. So I think that's a big issue for them, no matter what quarterback is out there. If it's Jackson Dart, of course, I'm interested to see what he is like with Mike Kafka now as the one who is in charge of everything, making a lot of those calls, and feels as though because of what was mentioned with why Brian Daboll was fired, they're not really going to have Jackson Dart be a major part of the run game, at least like he was in the early parts of the season, which that's why I'm interested to see what goes on here, because Dalton, that was a major reason why they had success. It was Jackson Dart and Cam Scatterbo, and obviously Scatterbo's not out there either, and Tyrone Tracy, I think, played really well last week, and specifically as a receiver, but for this matchup, I don't love it because the Lions have 2 linebackers in Alex Anzalone and Jack Campbell who have been very good at covering running backs out of the backfield this season. So using that as a weapon, I don't love. Darius Slayton's been very up and down. Obviously no Malik Neighbors either. Wan'Dale Robinson's more of just that underneath receiver. I just don't know if the Giants have the horses to really be able to keep up with the Lions, especially if they can't defend the run a lot better than what they have been to this point in the year. So I like the Lions big in this one, 30-17. I just don't think the Giants have enough on offense right now to keep up with them.
No, I agree. And the way the run defense is playing, I don't know that they have enough on defense either. I'm with you. We get a couple home games every year now for the Lions where it just looks like a defense goes in there and they're just overmatched by everything this Lions team is capable of. I think actually I have it even wider than you do. I think that's going to be the case again. I'm taking the Lions big, 35-13. I think they're going to blow the Giants out with the way they can run the ball.
Yeah, Lions 10.5 here. I like that line. It should be double digits. And obviously, I like the Lions to cover that. I don't know what the Giants are going to do to keep up in this game because, like I said, like even the X factor that they had last week was Tyrone Tracy, and I feel as though the Lions have been very good at neutralizing exactly what makes Tyrone Tracy an X factor for this team. So just this would be a okay, sure, I guess I get it. It's the NFL. If the Giants are able to win this game, I don't know if a lot points to it before we get to that point.